So I read a book about 4 years ago that I think changed the way I thought about a lot of stuff. It's called The Book You Wish Your Parents Would Have Read and You'll Be Glad You Did, by a lady called Philippa Perry, who was a brilliant Guardian columnist. And she specifically talked about, and this is actually through about a number of years of me speaking with someone about all of my stuff that's gone on over the years as well. She spoke about the power of reflection is the truth. You've got to be able to understand when you're triggered by anything. Does it make you angry? Does it make you sad? Does it make you clam up? Does it make you go on the offensive? The things that impacted you as a kid and as an adult, regardless of whether they were significant, insignificant, it's all just relative to your own upbringing in truth. And this book is all about actually trying to deal with your trigger points. And once you realize what triggers you for whatever usual negative spiral that happens, you've actually got to go back to the source, because otherwise, again, you just put the sticking plaster on and you can't really deal with it. And it's actually a very, very, very uncomfortable place. Because ultimately what you're trying to work out is why you are the way you are, and why actually things have happened that you might not have liked or have dealt with or whatever else it might have been. The problem is everyone mostly wants to take the course of least resistance, is to put it under the carpet and not deal with it. And more so than that, actually distract themselves by doing things. So the first thing on meditation, that's actually, I find it very, very difficult to do, because our first reaction on anything that we feel uncomfortable with or otherwise is, I need to distract myself from my underlying emotive state. And how do I do that? I pick up my phone, usually, or I allow the trigger to trigger me to do whatever else it might be. Now, the self-reflection, which has taken me almost a decade worth to be able to start thinking about, is being like, I think I'm feeling this because actually this is the way that I've dealt with something in the past. Why, So without turning this into a therapy session, I found that book really useful, because it actually meant go back to source and start talking. And the other thing, which is most important, that I think a lot of men feel like I certainly did growing up, was you show strength by getting on and doing rather than talking about it. You're your own island. You don't need to burden anybody else. You don't need to worry the people that you love around you, because the way that you will demonstrate success and competency is to show externally that you're succeeding. Get the grades, do the exam, get the job, continue onwards. Don't worry about anybody else until you usually get to some breaking points at different times. Then you're like, what now? Because I'm actually bubbling over and I can't really control how I'm dealing with particular situations. So the chat is the important bit, I think.